Phillip Schofield is here. It is lovely to see you.
Thank
and the
you.
book, Life's What You Make It. Now, you know, when I read this, it was like you were sitting talking to me.
And that's what I wanted it to be like, yeah.
It does. It feels like you're talking to me and we're just having a conversation, which
Yep.
is absolutely lovely. And I guess it's you know, it's you telling your story in your own words, because everybody likes to tell your story for you sometimes.
Well, that's definitely true. And it's an opportunity for me to do that. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't want a ghostwriter. I didn't want any help. In fact, I didn't tell anyone I was writing it, because I wrote the first chapter in 2019. Just as an exercise, and I sent it to the office. And they went, oh, my God, you have to write this. You have to write this. You can write. I thought, oh, well, that's nice. And then I thought, you know what, actually, it's too complicated. I don't want to. And I just left it on the laptop and put it to one side. And then I thought, right, OK, well, I am actually going to write this. And lockdown had started. Sure. And so I thought, right, don't put any pressure on yourself. So don't tell anyone. There's Steph knew and the family knew.
Oh, sure.
But no publishers, no office, nobody knew. And I just thought, because I thought I may not finish it. And then I got into it and really enjoyed it. I knew what was coming at the end, and that was the difficult bit.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, all the stories I wanted to tell, the backstage stuff that I wanted to tell, the things that my mates had said, that is your best story. And I had to put it down. Things that I've never told before, all of that, just in my own words. And that was, it was nice that when you saying that is perfect.
No, it absolutely is. And the stories are brilliant. I mean, really hilarious. And things like Princess Diana telling you, you know, things that she hadn't told anyone else.
Well, it was at a do, and there was a lineup, and Diana was walking down towards me, and I thought, well, I better explain who I am. And so I just said, Your Royal Highness, and as I said, she said, I know who you are. She said, me and the boys, we sit down on a Saturday morning, we lie in front of the telly with our breakfast and our PJs and watch Going Live.
Wow.
And I thought, wow.
That is a wow.
You never know.
I know. You never think that that's actually happening.
Yeah.
But Steph and the girls have read it, obviously. Yes. You're happy?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Because they would be the ones that, you know, you want to make sure they're okay.
No, all the way through.
You are very lucky with the women in your life, you know.
Aren't I?
You really are.
Yeah.
You know, your wife, your daughters, obviously Holly, and everybody else, But it's been hard, though. I remember seeing you, now it must have been just before Christmas, I think, just before December, and I was shocked when I saw you, Philip. You were tiny. You'd lost so much weight, and you didn't look like yourself. The sparkle was away. Yeah. And it was a hard time then, wasn't it?
Toughest time ever.
Yeah.
When you're going through something like that, and you're trying to pick your way through. And I say in there, it's not in my nature to hurt people. I just don't, it's not the way I'm built. And so I knew that there was no way that I was trying to find my way through. What did I do? I talk about loops, the loops that go around in your head. You have to do this, you have to do this. You can't do this, because if you do this, look at the consequences. Yeah, but you have to, and you're getting sicker and sicker by worrying about it. And it went round and round and round and round, and then I couldn't eat, and then I couldn't sleep. And I was walking into makeup in next door, and people are saying, you okay? Yeah, have a nice weekend. And I knew that I just spent the whole weekend staring into the fire and thinking, what am I going to do? What do I do here? And lots of hours talking to Steph and hugging Steph, and we talked the whole thing through. You know, there were no secrets. There've never been any secrets. When I knew, she knew. And it wasn't like a sudden ping. It was like this is tripping me up. Initially I didn't understand. And so yeah, by the time I saw you...
Oh, I was worried about you. I really
yeah.
was, because you were going through, there was a lot of nonsense in the press as well, a lot of noise in the press.
Yeah.
You know, about you, ridiculously, about you and Holly not getting on, which is like
Well, when that
bonkers.
was happening, Holly and I couldn't have been closer, because I told her.
You told her.
And she knew, because she said to me, ages ago, she said, what's up? Are you okay? Just talk to me. Very intuitive.
Yeah.
Just talk to me. And I said, oh, I'm fine. And it was quite obvious to the people who worked. We're all in such a close environment. You know, we share crews with everybody knows. And everyone knew there was something wrong. But when all of that in the papers, you know, we were in the middle of a feud. We couldn't have been closer because I told her. So she was helping me through. And I had a rock at home with Steph. I had a rock here with Holly. You know, so I thought, and that was the trouble with that was that just made things worse. When you're seeing a guy in the papers that you don't recognise, and the one thing I've always wanted to do is to be fun to work with. And so when you don't recognise that guy, I think that was worse because it was on top of everything else.
And there was one day, and this was quite remarkable because I know you were such a professional, a consummate professional, when you just couldn't come in one day. It was just too much and you just couldn't do it.
I was in the car coming down the M40 and I was writing an interview with Annie Lennox and it had never crept into work, ever. I mean, I was here, work was my sanctuary. You know, that's where I could forget about everything that was going on in my head. And so Tony is my committed and wonderful driver who I've had for years and years and years and years and years. And we got to the turn-off just up the road. And we'd got a flat in southeast London, and we got it for the girls when they finished university, and occasionally Steph and I could stay over if we went to the theatre or whatever. And I said, Tony, just take me to the flat, will you?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, sure. And he never questions anything. And we drove past here, and I went to the flat, and I made a very stupid mistake of turning my phone off. So nobody knew where I was. And I told Steph, I just said, I can't go in today, and the office, and that was that. Then I turned my phone off, and I just sat in the flat. And this morning started, and I was at one end of London, and it was at the other. And it was a very, very silly thing to do because, you know, I think people thought that I may have done something stupid, which, of course, I wouldn't have done.
No.
But
it did get bad, Philip. It got bad.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, and it's really hard when you're down there trying to get yourself back out again. And the thing is, you didn't know what was going to happen when you made that announcement, when you came out. You didn't know what the reaction was going to be, and it's been so positive.
It's been amazing.
I mean, the relief, I guess, must have been amazing, because you would have been, anybody would be really nervous about saying all of that. And then I think the vast majority of people went, oh, yeah, OK then, and then got on with their cup of tea.
Outside,
you know,
it was incredible. And people were so lovely. And I talk about a lady in a shop. The first time I went out, after I'd done that, we called it the event. It was the WhatsApp group was the event. Right. And we had to plan it, you know, I had to plan the whole thing, which I hated the fact that I had to plan it with Holly, had to plan it with the office, had to plan it with everybody, when everyone who knew had to know in the right order. But as far as, you know, the actual day was concerned, it was doing something like that, you know, I wanted to get it right. I just wanted to get it right.
And I know what you're like. You want it to, you want it to be
I wanted it to be dignified.
And it was.
And then I went out and I met this lady in a card shop. And first of all, the lady at the till said, "Are you okay?" So I said, "Yes, I'm okay, thank you." And I thought, well, that was nice. Then I walked to the door and a very elegant elderly lady stopped me and put her hand out and grabbed my arm and said, "I want to talk to you." And I thought, oh, God, you know, here's the first bad one. And she said, "I am so proud of you." Wow. She said, "You've helped so many people. I can't tell you how proud of you I am." And I thought, oh, my God, that's amazing.
It's amazing. You must be inundated with that happening.
Yeah, there's been a lot of that.
A lot,
which is
lovely.
Nice.
It's lovely because... And you do look as if you're back to yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's still... Every day is a wee struggle.
You know, and it is a work in progress. Everything is a work in progress. But it is tough. And I'm very conscious of Steph and I'm very conscious of the girls.
But everything's okay with them, and that's the thing.
You know, we all went out for dinner a couple of nights ago, and
you all love each other. That doesn't change.
No,
of course it doesn't.
Well, as I say in there, you know, I'm still me. They're still them, and you know, it's still us four, but different.
Yeah, it is, and things change. But that love and that relationship and the love they've got for you is never going to change. Of course it isn't. That would be crazy. You're exactly the same person you've always been. You know, you are. That's just it. I love the fact that you've got this signal, which is like a little signal that you give if you're just having, as we all are, especially right now,
the red flag emoji.
Flag. That is such a good idea.
Well, I say a lot in there and encourage anybody, specifically men, you have got to talk things through. There are times when you cannot do it on your own. Yeah. It's not healthy to do it on your own. It is positively dangerous to do it on your own. And I have this red flag emoji, which I haven't had to fly yet.
Right. But you just know you've got it.
It's friends and family and, you know, a few really trusted friends who've said, if you are in trouble, you have to tell us. And obviously the people closest to me. If I post that red flag emoji, then I think they'll come like a fleet of ambulances.
Absolutely, of course they will.
But the one thing the point that I wanted to stress, other than be kind, is is that we had Project 84, 84 guys taking their lives every week.
That was very powerful.
And the powerful
it was very
image,
powerful.
the
When we had these
incredible images.
That was extraordinary.
Some of them dressed in the clothes of the men that had taken their lives, you know. So that is a bigger figure now because of where we are in our lives right now. It's a bigger figure. So my greatest thing, if there's anything that comes out of that, is the fact that if you are struggling, if you are a bloke, you have to talk to someone and trust in the fact that your family will hopefully accept whatever it is you need to say, and your friends are there because they love you.
Exactly, and don't be scared. Don't be scared to be you. That's the thing, isn't it? That's the bottom line. That's what it's all about. And what is fantastic is you are the busiest man in the world, and you're busier than ever. You're doing so much, and I know you're away filming next week. Of course, the Cube is happening.
Cube on Saturday. It's on Saturday at 9, and then we're stripped across the week next week at 9 o'clock. And it is the best series we've ever made.
It's a spectacular spectacle.
It really is. Well, because the dynamic is different, because we've got 2 people this time, and they're in their bubble, and so it is a whole different game show.
It is. Look, there's so much in this book that I wanted to talk to you about. It's not just about that last chapter. There's so much more. It's been and still continues to be an amazing, amazing career. But you have got something else you've got to do today, which is to get over there. And Holly's waiting for you. Hiya, Holly.
I'm waiting. Could you send him back soon, please?
We will. Don't forget, you can watch full episodes of Lorraine on the ITV Hub and all the best clips, compilations and playlists right here on our channel. Just subscribe now and you'll never miss an upload. Click here to watch another video similar to this one, or click here to head to our channel's homepage to explore all of our exciting videos.